Hi there folks, Joel Self, Outdoor Instructor here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel and to a nice, crisp, sunny Wiltshire morning. Today's video is going to be some fun facts for kids about cows. Cows are brilliant animals and we see them all over the place here in the UK. So, we're going to be getting into some facts about these and answering some questions I've had sent in. But before I do that, I just want to remind anyone who's not yet subscribed that you can click both the subscribe button and the bell icon, so every time a new video comes out, you get a notification about it. So, whilst this one's investigating my boots, I thought I'd answer the question, are cows dangerous? Well, this question has got two answers. No, cows are not big, scary beasts who are going to come and munch on you, but cows are pretty big and therefore pretty heavy. And I think if you were walking through a field and maybe you're a bit smaller and the cow's a bit bigger, hiya bud, yeah, hi, then you might find that you may get squished by a cow. That would not be great. So if you're a bit nervous about the cows and you're maybe a little bit scared of what they might do because they're so big, then a good thing to do when you get scared is to stick your arms up in the air, wave them around a little bit, and you can do a little bit of shouting and go, hey, and then all the cows will move out of your way. Rory must live on a farm, I think, because he's asked a question saying, my cows seem to have friends. Do cows actually make friends? The answer is yes. Cows can make friends. They're very sociable animals, and like these two here, if you go into a field with some cows, they'll quite likely come over and investigate who you are. They might give you a sniff, they might even taste you with their long, rough-feeling tongue. Okay, so this question from Tom is gross. Cow poo. Why is it so big, and why is it everywhere? Well, Tom, I don't know how many cows you've seen recently, but they're pretty big animals. And so if we made you the same size as a cow, I think even your poo might be this big. And that's kind of the only reason why. Cows are big animals, therefore they have big poo. And the reason it's everywhere is because the cows wander around. They don't have toilets that they can go to, so they'll just go wherever they happen to be stood when they feel they need to go. Ryan's asked a really good question. How old do cows get? Well, Ryan, this depends on whether the cow is being used for various things on a farm or whether it's just living out its natural life. If a cow is just being left alone to live its life as it pleases, they often live to around 20 years old, although this can depend on the breed of cow a little bit. When it comes to cows that are being kept on farms, I'm afraid they don't tend to live quite as long as that. Dairy cows will live longer. However, any cows that are being kept for beef will often be killed within a year to 2 years of being born. So they might not be any more than 2 years old by the time they die. Bethany's asked a really good question. What different names are there for different cows? Now, Bethany, I wasn't sure if you meant are there different breeds, in which case, yes, there are lots and lots of different breeds of cow, just like there are many different breeds of dog. But I'm going to take a slightly different spin on your question. I hope that's okay. I'm going to talk about the different types of cow that we have more generally. So not talking about breeds here. So we're going to talk about male cows and female cows, young cows, old cows. What are they all called? Well, quite simply, a mummy cow is called a cow, and a daddy cow is called a bull, and a young cow is normally called a calf. Now we've got other different names that we might use for our younger calves. So if it's a young female calf, a young girl, then we call them a heifer until they have their own calf, and then we would call them a cow. When it comes to the boys, it's a little bit more complicated. So our young male calves will either be called a bull or a bullock. Now a bull is as every male cow is going to be born. And the big thing here is part of the reproductive system. So if we had a look under a bull, and I'm afraid there's none here for me to show you today, but underneath a bull we would have their penis, and between their penis and their bottom we would have their testicles. Now if a bull has got its testicles, then it's called a bull, but sometimes when bulls are very young, less than a year old, we might remove the testicles and then we would call them a bullock. Marcus has asked me to do some fact checking on Dad. So, Marcus's dad has said that cows are red-green colourblind. Is that true? Actually, Marcus, your dad's right. Cows are red-green colourblind. So I don't know what colour they see the grass as. Jane has asked, what are the yellow tags in the cow's ear? And I'll give you a quick clue, they're not earrings. So the tags in the cow's ear have got some numbers on it that the farmer can use to keep track of the cow, and that way they can record loads of information about it, like when it last was seen by the vet, is it nice and healthy, what did it weigh last time it was weighed, has it had all the injections it needs, all these sorts of things. And those yellow tags are there on not just cows but other livestock too, so that farmers can keep track of all that important information to make sure their cows are really well looked after. Okay, so Tilly asked a fab question which I had to do some research on because I didn't know the answer. Tilly asked, how many cows are there in the world? Tilly, I don't know how you thought I might know that. I had to do a lot of looking online to find the answer for you. But there are well over 1 billion cows in the world. And there are more than 300 million just in India alone. Okay, so Alice has asked, what is the dangly bit underneath the cow? Now, Alice, that's going to depend on whether we're talking about boy cows or girl cows. So we've got a girl cow here, and we can see we've got these dangly udders, and that's where the cow's milk comes from. So when they're feeding their calves, that's their young babies, or when the farmer is milking the cow, that's where that milk comes from. Another great question sent in by Samuel was, are all cows black and white? Well, this one is, but if you have a little look back there, back there we've got a brown cow, and this one in the middle is sort of a creamy colour, and over that way we've got some little black cows. So no, not all cows are black and white. They can be a mixture. It just kind of depends on what sort of cow they are. Well, there we go. That brings today's video to a close. I hope you found all those different bits about the cows interesting, and you might have learnt something today. Maybe not. Maybe you already were all clued up about cows. But I hope nonetheless that you've enjoyed watching this and that you'll subscribe to the channel so you can see all the other videos that will be coming out over the next few days. I've been Joseph Outdoor Instructor. Thank you so much for coming along and watching. But for now, bye-bye.